Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard here in the car again for another edition. No market going on today, so I guess nobody's going to be walking by thinking I'm some weirdo talking to my phone in my car. That said, the Edmonton Oilers getting, again, we keep saying it. Patrick and I were saying it on the weekend. Patrick and I were hitting balls on the weekend there over on Diamond 2. Hitting a few softballs around the old yard there, and you can check out that video here on the channel if you go to the Dolynny TV channel page on YouTube. But that said, I don't want to distract too much from what we're getting at today in the video. After a good weekend, the Edmonton Oilers back on social media posting some stuff, and there's a pretty inconvenient truth for a lot of people that the Edmonton Oilers posted, and it has to do with one Stuart Skinner. So friends, before we dive too far into that, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. And of course, if you're a big fan of Stuart Skinner, I want to see those likes for our man Stu, who is, with 7 wins this season upcoming, if he can notch off 7 wins, he is going to become the 5th most winningest goaltender in Edmonton Oilers history. That, of course, is the thumbnail that you see for this video. It's the list. That cutoff number at the top, that's the 226, which is the all-time record by Grant Fuhr, which, again, if you think that Stu Skinner is going to have, 100 wins by Game 5, hopefully, of the season this year for the Oilers, guess what that means? He's not that far off from that record. That's a couple of 40-win seasons away for Stu Skinner. I know you might say that's impossible for him to do, but again, new goaltender coach Peter Aubry, and the fact that he's only 100 and basically 28 wins away from the all-time record in Edmonton Oilers history, it's crazy to think that the Edmonton Oilers, quite honestly, might have the all-time franchise best goaltender on the roster right now. And whether you want to look at any other stats or not, that doesn't matter. Again, we all know Grant Fuhr didn't have a great save percentage, didn't have great goals against average, but damn did he win hockey games, and did it in bunches more than anyone else in an Edmonton Oilers uniform so far, up until, who knows, whether it be Stu Skinner or somebody that comes after him. But right now, Stuart Skinner, the man leading the way. He is 7 wins away from overtaking one Dadbot Cam Talbot for, number 5 all time. And then really it's just a couple 40 wins seasons away for him from there. So that seems crazy in terms. But again, the truth is about Stuart Skinner, whether you want to think he's the goalie that'll win you the Stanley Cup or not, he's still a good goalie. And no matter what the numbers say this year or said the year before or the year previous, is in Edmonton, compared to the goaltending we've gotten in the past, there isn't really much that Stu Skinner's numbers scream, oh my God, this is so much worse than anything we've ever had before. Because the truth about Stu Skinner is he's still, even you want to remove the top 5 wins thing away after 7 wins this year, he's still one of the better goaltenders the Oilers have had since that 05-06 season with UC Markkanen, Ty Conklin, and of course Dwayne Rollison. So that's the hard part about it. If you're an Oilers fan, is as much as you can possibly hate Stuart Skinner, he is still better than a lot of what we've had. And the truth is, as time goes on and he sticks around, he's only going to look better and better in the history books for the Edmonton Oilers. And clearly with 7 wins this year, which again, I mean, he could start 40 games and lose 33. That still means he wins 7. And guess what? He's still number 5 all time in an Edmonton Oilers uniform for wins as a goaltender. So for Stu Skinner, I think this year, and I hope the results speak for themselves immediately. Again, if you watched the preseason last year as an Edmonton Oilers fan, I think you could tell, now looking at it retrospect and making this point in today's video, you could tell there was going to be an issue with goaltending. If you look back to that preseason, I dare you to go find some highlights of the goaltending. And it's not just Stu Skinner, it's not just Cal Pickard, it is, of course, Ollie Rodrigue and everybody else the Oilers threw out there. There was going to be an issue with goaltending all season long at the NHL level. You can tell that right from the start if you watch the 8 preseason game highlight packs here on YouTube. So basically from that perspective, friends, what I'm telling you is if we get a new goalie coach in there, Peter Aubry, and the results are looking better in the preseason, that should forecast that things will look better over the duration of the NHL season. Now, again, that coincides with a top 5 placement and wins all time in Oilers uniform for Stuart Skinner. Because, again, I think it's impossible for Stu Skinner not to win 25 games with the Oilers this year. Again, anything better than a .525 winning percentage to start the year for the Oilers will see our goaltenders have a year that flips everything we know about them the past 2 years on their heads. So that's where we're hoping. New goalie coach, better start, better team play, much enhanced defense. I know you might think, well, Jake Walman doesn't make that much of a difference and Matthias Ekholm's over the hill. Matthias Ekholm was injured. Jake Walman was not here at the start of last year, and the Edmonton Oilers were not nearly as organized coming into the year as they might be this year with a new coaching staff. So the hope is an expanded role for Mark Stewart allows him to put the finishing touches on anything he's worked on the past 2 years under, of course, Paul Coffey, and prior to that under Dave Manson, I believe. And then, was it Dave? Yeah, it was Dave Manson. And then as well, you look at a situation where, a power play that scores again at a 30% clip, that starts winning you hockey games, whether Stu's giving up 4 goals a game or 5. It don't matter. You start scoring 7, and there's a reason Grant Fuhr has 226 career wins. So you just score more than the other guys, more often than not, you'll win a lot of hockey games. And while that's a recipe for success in the regular season, I know it's not for the playoffs, nor do I care that it's not for the playoffs, because you just got to get there first. And for the Oilers in a season where the expectation should be, and again, I think we'll all be much more on that post-November, but the expectation from the start should be winning the division again. Last year we finished 3rd after I know where I'm going with that. But again, a better start equals way better results for everybody top down on this Oilers roster. You add in the coaching changes, you add in the new goalie coach, and for the Edmonton Oilers, it's going to be night and day. And that coincides again with the truth about Stuart Skinner becoming a top 5 goaltender in Edmonton Oilers history in terms of the wins department. And that'll be a momentous occasion because, again, this is a homegrown goalie that the Oilers have went through a little bit of hell with and have stuck by, and within the first 2 months of the year he'll be a top 5 goaltender in franchise history, and we don't really have those growing on trees every single day in this organization. So hey, that's a good thing. And when I say homegrown, I mean drafted and developed. I don't mean that he's an Edmonton guy. I mean drafted and developed, and that's you add in the Edmonton aspect, and there's a guy that's at the top of the leaderboard that's kind of also that kind of guy. So we like that situation there for Stu. We like that situation for us Oilers fans. And that's really the truth about Stuart Skinner, is give him 2 months this NHL season and he will go down by the record book. I don't care if you go by any other situation, your public opinion, your personal opinion, whatever you want to say. By the record book, Stuart Skinner at the end of November, mark my words, that's my bet, will be a top 5 goaltender in the Edmonton Oilers wins category all time. Now that said, friends, tonight playing for the Mixed Nuts here in Crossfield. I don't know if I'm supposed to be on Diamond 1, Diamond 2, or Diamond 3. I did not check that far ahead, but that's where we're at today out there in Crossfield. Of course, again, I want to tell you right now, if you've tuned in for the discussion here on Stuart Skinner, I'll end the video the same way I started the video. On Dolynny TV yesterday, I posted, I don't know if you would have gotten a notification for it, given how close it was to the Oilers video posted yesterday. Patrick and I, over there on Diamond number 2, you can kind of see it over there in the left-hand side backstop. Patrick and I stopped by there on Saturday and, just hit some balls and threw some pitches and had some laughs, and for the first time on the channel in a long while you can hear me swear. So I'd highly encourage you to go check out that slow pitch video Patrick and I put together yesterday. And other than that, I'm going to leave you with a good little truth on Stuart Skinner and an easy video to digest on a Monday afternoon. Thanks for being aboard, friends. I am up on out of here.